sides of the story. Both sides of the story, highlighting the positive role of the Jamaican diaspora. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
We always need to hear both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Time now for Both Sides of the Story on Power 106 FM. We will not take sides, but we listen to your side. Join us as we explore the issues, present the facts, speak with the experts, and as always, listen to both sides. What's your story? Tell us on Both Sides of the Story. 922-4112, 922-4113, 922-4114, and 922-4115. You can listen to both sides of the story on the Gleaner's website, www.go-jamaica.com, on your mobile phones at tunein.com or novex.com, or by dialing 832-551-5045 or 213-493-0133 in the USA. If you're in the UK, you can dial 020-3519-0145, and in Germany, 051-180-904044. Our email address is bothsides106@live.com, and you can join us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, or link us up on Skype. We look forward to receiving your instant messages on MSN or Yahoo, and your text messages on 365-3346. Remember, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can listen twice as much as we speak. So stay with us as we listen
Freedom
to both
Street.
sides of the story.
Ken Booth, Freedom Street.
Both sides of the story.
Have it? All right, let's go.
Both sides of the story.
We always need to hear both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106.
Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is error, the truth. Where there is doubt, the faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. And where there is sadness, joy. O divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in dying that we are born to eternal life.
I'm freedom free. There's united we stand. Divided we fall. Respect your father, brother, sisters, and all. Let's not deal with illiteracy. Work it out intelligently. Lord, cause we gonna walk. Walk down freedom street. Everybody know we gonna walk down freedom street. Freedom street. Can't see clearly, cause I work hard last night. It must be a miracle, cause there's no change in sight. I see a big street where all men's meet. It must be freedom street. Oh Lord, freedom street. Everybody know we gonna walk down freedom street. Everybody know we gonna go my world. We gonna walk down so. Walk down freedom street.
We started out this afternoon with a prayer of St. Francis of Assisi and paired that with Freedom Street by Ken Booth. It's the International Decade of Healthy Aging, the International Decade of Ecosystem Restoration, the International Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, the Decade of Action for Road Safety, and the UN International Decade of Indigenous Languages. It's the 27th day of the third month of 2023, the International Year of Millets. Millets are cereals grown in warm countries and regions with poor soils, bearing a large crop of small seeds, which are chiefly used to make flour. 2023 is also the International Year of Dialogue as a guarantee of peace. Here in Jamaica and in the United States, the month of March is being observed as Intellectual Disabilities Awareness Month. Also in the US, March is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month, Endometriosis Awareness Month, and Salt Awareness Month. And in the UK, March is also Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. And it's, of course, Women's History Month. It's Armed Forces Day in Myanmar, Burma, Evacuation Day in Angola, Mount Arafat Day in Kuwait, and Skyscraper Day in the USA. Hoy es lunes, el 27 de marzo 2023, y les saludamos en cualquier parte del mundo que nos están escuchando en este momento. Estamos muy agradecidos por el don de la vida y el privilegio de servirles en otra edición de su programa, Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia. Nunca vamos a tomar su audiencia por sentado, porque sabemos que ustedes tienen otras opciones, y esta es la razón por la cual jamás olvidamos darle las gracias por elegir Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia, de lunes a viernes desde las 2 hasta las 5 de la tarde, aquí en Power 106 FM. La misión continúa para educar, capacitar, iluminar y estimular el espíritu empresarial. Bienvenidos. Se lundi le 27 mars 2023 et nous vous saluons tous qui nous écoutent, que vous soyez dans le monde. Nous sommes reconnaissants du don de la vie ainsi que du privilège d'être à votre service par une nouvelle édition de votre programme Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre. Nous ne considérons pas votre fidélité comme l'un de ceux parce que nous savons que vous avez l'embarras du choix. C'est pourquoi nous n'oublions jamais de vous remercier de choisir d'écouter Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre, du lundi au vendredi de 13h à 5h de l'après-midi sur notre antenne Power 106 FM. Nous continuons notre mission d'éduquer, d'habiliter, d'éclairer et d'encourager l'esprit d'entreprise. Bienvenue. All we're saying is it's Monday, the 27th of March, 2023, and we greet you well, wherever in the world you are listening to us right now. We remain eternally grateful for the gift of life and the privilege to serve you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices, and that's why we never ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to Both Sides of the Story, Monday to Friday, 2 to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome. A quick look at some of the stories you may or may not have missed within the last few hours here in Jamaica, especially for those of you across the diaspora who are always anxious to stay in touch with Jamaican media to find out what's happening. Digicel is this is news coming out of Port of Spain, Trinidad. Digicel dismisses over 100 employees in Trinidad. Telecommunications company Digicel today announced that it has transitioned its Trinidad Consumer Contact Center to a consolidated regional center of excellence in Jamaica, resulting in more than 100 workers having to find other options. We hope they do in due course, because no doubt they too have bills to pay. 3 children, 2 adults fatally shot in Nashville grade school. That's in Tennessee in the United States. 3 children and 2 adults were killed in a shooting at a private Christian grade school in Nashville today, hospital officials are saying, while police said the suspect was dead after a confrontation with officers. Back home, Port Antonio High educator named Mathematics Teacher of the Year. Policeman dies following Constant Spring Road crash. Colleague hospitalized. Sorry to hear that. We wish them a fruitful recovery. Helsha gets security surveillance system to combat crime. Well, that's one place. How many parishes do we have? 14. How many counties? 3. We're going to need more than one surveillance system to properly police this small country of ours, the biggest little country on the planet. 14-year-old St. Elizabeth boy charged over housebreaking. Oh dear, that's a pity. Hopefully there is some room for rehabilitation. Not room, but an opportunity which we hope would be a part of a normal part of the process. One moment, please.
I see your big street. Walk into Marjan's Pharmacy and you will feel better. The service is clearly different. Marjan's Pharmacy, call 876-703-6335. The time by Marjan's Pharmacy is 2:15.
No matter who you are, where you are, or where you are, do link up with everybody. We're here to help, putting the solution in your hands. For the hustlers and 9-to-5ers, the bill payers and the bill forgetters, the credit senders and the plan buyers. For those without bank account and those who have bank accounts. It's like we said, this are the money up for everybody. That's why life is better with Link. Download the app today.
Chad Ad Distributors are the island-wide distributors of the popular Maxxis tires, plus Sumitomo, Falcon, and Solidil. For batteries, Mayatsu, AC Delco, and for lubricants, it's Petro Canada. Visit us at 87 to 91 First Street, Newport West. Telephone 901-6612 or 383-4363. Chad Ad Distributors Limited, your place to retire.
Tune in to Farm Talk every second and third Tuesday of each month at 6:18 a.m. for the feature Hyper Food Independence. Hyper Food Independence will focus on solutions for farmers, such as land, animal husbandry, agronomy, and more. That's Hyper Food Independence every second and third Tuesday from 6:18 to 6:30 a.m. during Farm Talk, only on Power 106 FM. Hyper Food Independence is sponsored by Hypro.
Sisters and all, let's not deal with illiteracy. Work it out intelligently. Lord, we gonna walk. Walk down freedom street. Everybody know we gonna walk. Walk down freedom street. Freedom street.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM. Here's a story, and we would imagine most of us following the news anywhere in the world would not be surprised by the news that Black kids in England are 6 times more likely to be strip searched by the police. That's the headline. Black kids in England, 6 times more likely to be strip searched by police. An independent review says London police have lost the confidence of the public because of deep-seated racism, misogyny, and homophobia. The report released today was commissioned. It was not today, Tuesday, the 21st of March. It was commissioned after a young woman was raped and killed by a serving officer. What a tragedy. Black children in England and Wales were 6 times more likely to be strip searched by police, according to a report being released Monday, that's today, that found kids were failed by those sworn to protect them. Children's Commissioner Rachel D'Souza found nearly 3,000 children were strip searched between 2018 and mid-2022, and more than half the searches were conducted without an appropriate adult present. The investigation was launched after a Black 15-year-old girl suspected of having marijuana was strip searched at a London school in 2020 by 2 female officers with another adult present. The girl, identified as Child Q, oh, that's sensitive. She was going through a particular period in her life and no drugs found. A previous report said racism was a likely factor for the humiliating search. So that's one of the stories that got our attention, trending on the Gleaner's website, jamaica-gleaner.com, jamaica-gleaner.com. All right, let's clear. I think we'll leave it there for now in terms of giving you an idea of some of the stories trending according to the Gleaner, their online platform, jamaica-gleaner.com. Let's clear some of your messages now. And we're going to start with Facebook Live. Cherry Henry says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan. Tomorrow is my birthday, so if you don't hear me, I'm enjoying my day. Well, more power to you, Cherry Henry. All the very best. And let's see here. Now, Sophia Nemard, good afternoon to you too. Welcome from Newell in St. Elizabeth. Andrew Lyons says, yes, sir. Good afternoon. Can you please put these questions to Mark Golding? Did he have family members who were the owners of slaves here in Jamaica? Does he still benefit from the slave trade? Why does he not want to speak about reparation? Well, I saw a clipping of a news clip last night where he was trying to put all of these speculative questions to rest by stating clearly his Jamaican roots and Jamaican heritage. So as at this point, I have no other information. We have no other information. So we'll leave that there for now. But obviously, it's not going to go away because the questions, people will continue to ask questions. Even when you think you have put the matter to rest, they're still asking questions, either because they don't believe or they don't want to believe. So that perhaps is something the opposition leader might want to address frontally and as forward and forthright as he can. So over to the opposition leader in that regard. Olga Hollingshead says, Monday afternoon blessings, sir, and all your diaspora listening family and friends everywhere. Have a wonderful and blessed day. Same to you, Olga Hollingshead. Natalie Winter says, great afternoon, all. Pleasant viewing from Washington Gardens. All the best to you too, Natalie Winter. Over on YouTube, let's greet those who have joined us. Oren says, good day, Sir Malcolm. Good day, Oren. Sean Chambers says, good afternoon, Uncle Dervan. I'm going to talk to you guys quickly before Land Solutions. Sounds like you're the new producer of the program, Sean. Cherry Henry says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan and listeners. Tomorrow will be my 70th birthday. So that she's making sure listeners and viewers on both platforms get her message. That's Cherry Henry. She says, 70. Thank God for his love and blessings. And Dwight Spence says, blessings to you all just joining. Welcome, Dwight, and all the very best to you. Let's go now to some of the many messages that have come in, and we'll do our best to sift through for relevance. Hello to the team at Annuburn Museum and the curator and the others. We are yet to fully digest that experience. We'll see how that goes. Tony Kelly, wherever you are in the UK or otherwise, good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for keeping in touch. Calvin in North York, Ontario, Canada, is sharing with us the story of Marcus Garvey, a documentary I think we got wind of that production. Didn't realize it was being shown. And let's see some of the others that have come in. For those who usually like to get their messages in early, as opposed to messaging us on the spot. Let's see this one. Letting you know. Okay. That's one we have to deal with off air. This one, visual arts. Da, 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 da. Okay. All right. I'm not sure if this is meant for us, but thank you very much for your message. And going down up the line now to see if we can get to the more current of the messages. Let's see. We haven't spoken with Sharon Smith in a while. We see she's online promoting a couple of events for her alma mater, Jose Marti High School, Jose Marti Technical High School. We look forward to hearing more of those events. Sharon Smith in New York. Thank you very much for checking in. And Alfred, what is Alfred saying here now? Good afternoon. I know you're preparing to get in studio now. What has happened to Winston Williams, aka WWRL? Haven't heard him for a long while. Also, one of your listeners, librarian, what has happened to her? Well, sadly, she left us several years ago. And as far as the whip with a solid kick, was that the tagline? Winston Williams, as far as we know, he's fine and dandy, as he would say. I did speak with him on the phone maybe a few months ago. Time flies. I can't say how long that was. Maybe a few months ago. And another school shooting in Nashville, Tennessee, says this person. 7 dead, including children. 3 children, 3 adults dead. Alleged female 21-year-old shooter. Oh dear. Our condolences. The loss of any life is to be regretted. And it seems we are doomed to a world of more adversity than anything else. I don't know. Is that it? Will that be, or what will become of us going forward? It's a classic case, as my late mother would say, of anywhere you turn, Makajuk you. Because even the places that people will tell you and believe are the safest, because we're dealing with human beings, we can't be 100% on these things. Anything is possible, anywhere, anytime, anyhow. We just have to, Bob Marley says, praise Jah and live, praise God and live. Because we don't know what's around the corner. Natalie Winter says, look, Dervan, color should have nothing to do with politics. Let's read that again. Look, Dervan, color should have nothing. I think you forgot to put in to do with politics. Nothing to do with politics. Performance is the way to go, says Natalie Winter. Indeed, that's what counts. After all, we have long known that we are unique beings. There's nothing strange about it. By now, people know what human beings look like and the different shades. Why is that still a subject? Anyway, we'll pick that up a little later on. Land Solutions is next.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:30.
Are you in the market for a loan? Welcome to Gateway Cooperative Credit Union, the best solution for your mortgage, home equity, motor vehicle, and unsecured loans. Come get rates as low as 7.55% and up to 30 years to repay. Fast turnaround time on all loans. Gateway Cooperative Credit Union. Visit our branches at 40 Marketplace, Fairview, and 20 Church Street, Montego Bay, Main Street, Lucy, 2 to 4 Duke Street, Falmouth, or visit our website at gatewayja.com. Promotion ends June 30. Conditions apply.
Get a flying start out the blocks with Imperial Optical and Imperial Optical Boutique. Our blue filter, anti-glare and transition lenses are available at our 9 locations island-wide. See you at the finish line. Dr. Jackie Campbell is on call this and every Wednesday evening at 8 with Powering Your Health. Powering Your Health is Power 106 FM's flagship program dedicated to health and wellness. Your one-stop place to power a healthy lifestyle. How can we help you to power your health? You can reach the show anytime by calling 876-922-41125 or by sending a text or WhatsApp message to 876-279-8598. Brought to you by Benson Pharmacy and Wellington Dental. That's Powering Your Health. Powerful health and wellness discussion and interaction. This and every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Only on Power 106 FM.
It's a Monday afternoon, just after 2:30, and that means time for Land Solutions. Land Solutions, the program where all your land-related matters are dealt with. Anything at all to do with the sale or purchase of land, you've come to the right place. Here are the numbers to call: 876-922-4113-5. 876-922-4113-5. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number for Land Solutions, 876-387-3183. 876-387-3183. The website is landsolutionsja.com. landsolutionsja.com. The email address is gloria@landsolutionsja.com. gloria@landsolutionsja.com. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/landsolutionsja, facebook.com/landsolutionsja. The law firm Brown, Findley and Company is headquartered in Suite 39 of the Winchester Business Center, corner of Winchester Road and Hope Road in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew. They also have an office at Shop 6 upstairs, the Jamaica National Building in Ocho Rios, St. Anne. In fact, there's a lawyer on duty every day. And you should know as well that on a Thursday, they boost their capacity to accommodate more customers on that day in particular. Thursday being that day where it's what you call like a legal clinic on land-related matters. So that's not to say you can't contact the offices and make arrangements for a Monday, for a regular weekday, any weekday. But the Thursday is that you get a little extra, as they say. You get brata on a Thursday. And that's from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on a Thursday. The Ocho Rios offices of the law firm Brown, Findley and Company. They encourage you to call and make an appointment, or at least just to call ahead to make sure you're on the right track. And the numbers to call the law firm Brown, Findley and Company are 876-908-1950 or 876-908-3518. In a moment, your host on today's edition of Land Solutions, attorney at law, Gloria Brown.
Thank you, Dervan, and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome again to Land Solutions. As Dervan told you, you have any issue related to land, buying land, selling land, probating a will, writing a will, administering an estate. And when I say administer an estate, I mean that a person died without a will. So when a person dies and leaves a will, you probate the will. If a person dies without a will, we say we administer the estate. We apply for something called the letters of administration. And sometimes clients will come in and say they have been told that they need letters of administration, and I can write the letter and give it to them right away. But even though it's called letters of administration, it's a court order. So it's something that's going to take you maybe up to a year to get that letter. Okay, it's not really just a letter that I write. It's something that the judge, that the registrar will have to sign from the court, giving you permission to distribute the assets of the person who has died. So anything related to land, we are willing to assist you. Buying land, selling land, getting title for land, getting probate. And if you want to get a title for your land, I encourage you to survey the piece of land. You have been occupying, it was given to you, it was willed to you. Somehow it's yours, you have built your house on it, you're farming it, etc. I'm encouraging you to just send me a WhatsApp message.
And be encouraged, Ms. Brown. We have our first caller.
Thank you, Dervan. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, how can I help?
Hello? Hello?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Can you hear me?
You can go again. Oh dear. Something is way off. Hello? Something. Hello? Are you? No. You're hearing. Do you have a? What are you using? Is it a headset? A head or earphones? A regular phone? Oh, you have a banger. All right, we'll try our best. Go ahead. Yes, yes, go ahead. And Miss Brown is listening. Go ahead, please. I hope you got that. Get a lawyer to help you, right? You're on the right track, but you just need to get a lawyer now, and the gentleman, the other gentleman needs to get a lawyer as well. Okay, take care. Thanks for calling. You're listening to Land Solutions during both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm, and online we have attorney at law Gloria Brown of the law firm Brown, Findlay and Company. We are looking forward to more of your calls. Any questions at all that you have in relation to the sale or purchase of land, to willing property, surveying land, the whole works. You've come to the right place. Here are the numbers to call: 876-922-4112. Let's do that again: 876-922-4113 to 5. 876-922-4113 to 5. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number for Land Solutions, and that is 876-387-3183. 876-387-3183. The email address is gloria@landsolutionsja.com. gloria@landsolutionsja.com. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/landsolutionsja. facebook.com/landsolutionsja. The law firm Brown, Findlay and Company is headquartered in Suite 39 of the Winchester Business Center, corner of Winchester Road and Hope Road in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew. They also have an office at Shop 6 upstairs, the Jamaica National Building in Ocho Rios, St. Anne. You're encouraged to call ahead instead of just turning up at the law offices of Brown, Findlay and Company. The lines are buzzing. Let's take you back to attorney at law Gloria Brown to take these calls. Ms. Brown?
Yeah, my father died.
Another caller for you, Ms. Brown. Hello, good afternoon. Go ahead and speak, please. Connection issues there. Something is not happening. Sorry about that, Ms. Brown. Okay. Ask her.
in value in it, just the land price. And you're one of the fortunate ones who have succeeded in getting the Commission of Lands to agree to sell your piece of land. Please continue to act on it. Good day. On behalf of a friend, I bought a house on a squatter land about 8 years, but the original owner had it for more than 15 years. Can she apply for title? She has surveyed it. Yes. Yes, she can apply for title because even though she's not there for 12 years, she can tag on. So she can add the time that the person who sold it to her had to her time. But you have to be careful when you buy these things, because you have to make sure if it's government land, but if it's government land and you're a squatter, you have to be there for 60 years, 60. And you can add on, your grandmother was there for 30, mother for 20, you for 10. So be careful how you just go, people just go and see land and somebody's squatting on land and you go and buy it from that person. A lot of people have trouble that they're trying to sell, and a lot of us go and buy trouble and then you come to Miss Brown's office and don't understand why Miss Brown can't get the title for you from yesterday when you come today. But a lot of these things have to be very, very careful. And the person who has been there for you before, they need to give you evidence that they were there before. Sometimes they say, oh, somebody will sign a paper, but you still need a little bit more than that. Because I say to the clients all the time, I can't really put the man in an envelope and send down to the title's office. They need documentation to show that that person was there before. So I'm glad to hear that you have surveyed it. And anybody would like it. Sorry, go ahead, please, Dervan.
Right, just trying to get in another call, although we're having a couple of technical issues. But go ahead. Let's see how it works.
Thanks, everyone. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm ringing to inquire about name change on land title.
Name change on the taxes?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. You said name change on the taxes?
On the land title.
Oh, the title. Tell me what you mean by name
You're
change.
very faint. I can hardly hear you.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. What I want is that, I changed, when the house was bought, it was in my maiden name, because I bought it. And then, but it remained in my maiden name. And then, the marriage didn't work anyway, so, But I was told by my attorney when I inquired later on, way down the road, that it would be best, since I'm still carrying the married name, even though I'm divorced, that it would be best to leave it, to sort of change it over into the married name. So I'm wondering, I've done that, but I'm wondering whether automatically things would be changed onto the title and so on.
Oh, you'd have to apply to note your marriage on the title. You'd have to apply to put your married name on the title. It's not automatic.
I did do that, but what I'm wanting to know is that would it now be what should I say now, in the title's office? Would that be automatically arranged in the title's office, or how does it work?
But where did you apply? Wasn't it the title's office that you applied to put on the married name?
Yeah.
Where else did you? Yes, so if you apply to the title's office to put on the married name, they would have done that.
They would have done that also, okay. And but I thought they did. I did going through the, whatever. But I'm just wondering now if there's a problem for whatever reason, would it be automatically there?
No,
and just one other thing. Does it matter?
Let me ask you something though. The title you have, the duplicate title you have, is your married name on it?
The new title?
The one you have for yourself. Is your married name on it?
I think it was on it. Yeah, I think because like I said, I took it down there and they did some changes. I better check that again. But I'm not quite sure because I haven't got it in front of me at the moment. But I'm assuming I've been there with the one with the maiden name, and they said they've done the paperwork and said they've changed it. So,
when you have the title in front of you, call me in my office and then I'll just ask
all
you
right, then. Yeah, that would probably be better. Yeah.
I'll just ask you to read something for me.
Yeah, all right. Then. Okay, sure. Thank you. Yeah, that's
You're welcome. Bye. So when a person gets married, a lady rather gets married, she has the option where she can apply to put her married name on the title. We call it a notation of marriage. It won't cross off the old name. It will just have an entry on it, the above name Gloria Brown was married to John Black on the 10th of May 2010. That's what the endorsement will say. And then that amounts to a change of my name. But of course, you don't have to change the name, but it suits you these days. Whatever the name is that you have on your TRN, that should be the name that you have on everything else. That's what we need to know. What is the name on your TRN? So if you have your maiden name on your TRN, you should keep your maiden name on everything else. If your married name is on the TRN, then you should have your married name on everything else. The numbers to call 922-411-325, and the text line is 387-3183. Before the break, I was talking to the churches and encouraging the churches. I know there are a lot of churches, and we have sometimes we have circuits, we have individual churches, we have churches that are autonomous. But I'm going to talk to the leaders of each individual church and all the denominations. Move towards getting titles for your properties, know your boundaries, and fence your boundaries. If you can't afford a proper fence, how about having a field day one of these days, as we call them, and just planting flowers, hibiscus, something that is permanent along the entire boundary. We have all kind of different shrubs these days that we can plant along the boundaries to protect, so persons can know where the boundaries are. And in our different communities, we know what people use to mark boundaries, different trees, etc. But I'm encouraging the churches, because a lot of the land grab is going to be affecting church land, because persons see churches as soft targets. And we need to have a little bit more respect for the church, because if the churches in Jamaica should ever come together, a lot of time persons ask what are the churches doing. But if these churches should ever decide to blow their own horns or their own trumpets and add up what churches are doing, you would never believe what church is doing in terms of education, in terms of health care, in terms of social care. A lot without the churches, Jamaica would be, I don't know where we would be. So I'm asking us to, as church members, church leaders, to protect what has been entrusted to you. Because a lot of us cannot buy the properties that we have been entrusted with. So many of the churches have skills training, the hard programs, the literacy programs, teaching young men, young women how to do so many things. So we want to really look towards and advising the churches to protect as best as they can what they have been made stewards of. Remember, we're coming up on a break, but remember the numbers to call after the break, 9876-922-411-325, and take the break to send me a text message, 387-3183. This is Land Solution.
Contractors, developers, and small builders. Contact Coast to Coast Group of Companies for high-quality concrete products. The time by Coast to Coast Group of Companies is
3 o'clock. 2,000 years ago in Jerusalem, multitudes gathered to hear the words of Jesus Christ, to feel his love, to learn of him and his gospel of peace and hope. As you and the ones you love gather this Easter season to hear his words and feel his love, join with us to learn more about Jesus and his gospel at easter.churchofjesuschrist.org.
Your health is key to your wealth. Suffering from muscle, joint, neck, back, and other pain? The Rehabilitation Institute of the Caribbean, in association with Winchester MRI, Immune Active Denk, and Almighty Studios present Rehabilitation Now, a 30-minute feature on physical medicine and rehabilitation for persons overcoming pain or dysfunction from injury or disease that affects muscles, tendons, nerves, and joints. Rehabilitation Now with rehabilitation physician Dr. Paula Dawson and host Alicia Taylor airs every Friday at 3:30 p.m. during Both Sides of the Story with Dervan Malcolm on Power 106. Free your body from aches and pain with Rehabilitation Now, right here on Power 106 FM.
You're listening to Land Solutions during Both Sides of the Story here on Power 106 FM. Land Solutions, the program where all your land-related matters are dealt with. Anything at all to do with the sale or purchase of land, you've come to the right place. Here are the numbers to call. 876-922-4113-5. 876-922-4113-5. The text line for Land Solutions is the same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, but you can also send your WhatsApp messages. That WhatsApp number for Land Solutions is 876-387-3183. 876-387-3183. The website is landsolutionsja.com. Landsolutionsja.com. The email address is gloria@landsolutionsja.com. gloria@landsolutionsja.com. The law firm Brown, Findley and Company is headquartered in Suite 39 of the Winchester Business Center, corner of Winchester Road and Hope Road in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew. They also have an office upstairs, the JN Building, that's the Jamaica National Building, in Ocho Rios, St. Anne. You're encouraged to call ahead before turning up at the law offices of Brown, Findley and Company. Mind you, on a Thursday between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m., they do some very good work in advising and otherwise educating members of the general public who are pursuing land-related matters. So that's every Thursday between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. You could call it a legal clinic or legal aid clinic or land solutions clinic at the Ocho Rios law offices of Brown, Findley and Company. Make a note of that. But other than that, a lawyer is at the law firm Monday to Friday. But on a Thursday, you get a little extra. You get brought. Right now, let's hand you over once again to attorney at law, Gloria Brown, who has another caller on the line. Ms. Brown?
Thank you, Dervan.
You're
Yes,
welcome.
sir. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ms. Brown.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Go ahead, please.
I am a piece of land selling, but the person that is interested is aware and he needs to see the title that I have. Could I send it on the phone? It would bring in a dealership?
Oh, you can send him on the phone because it's a public document. So he could go to the title's office and get a copy. So you can send him a copy.
Okay.
I don't see a problem with that.
Okay, Miss Brown. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Remember, the titles are public documents. Anybody can go to the title's office and get a copy of anybody's title, as long as you pay the fee and it's not very expensive. A text message. I just moved to a property and my neighbors are pressuring me to build a fence and split the cost. But my finances have been exhausted. Now the neighbor wants to build the fence and have me sign a contract stating that I will repay. I'm not sure how comfortable I am with that. What should I do? There's a law in Jamaica called the Dividing Fences Act. And it states that if your neighbor should put up a fence between both of you, as long as it's a reasonable fence, you have an obligation, a duty to cover half of the fence. So your neighbor is just enforcing his right. What you probably need to do is to negotiate with the neighbor how and when you will pay. But if the neighbor has that right, he has served you the notice. He's not putting up a fence that is $10 million when your house was just for $8. As long as it's a reasonable fence, it is your obligation, it's your duty to cover half of the fence. The numbers to call 922-411-325, 922-411-325. And remember, the text line or the WhatsApp line is 387-3183. And the law I said is the Dividing Fences Act. The person who sent me the message about buying from the piece of land from a person was squatting on it. Yes, this land is being very, very developed, maybe more than 50 years. That happens. Well, when I hear what you're saying, that person has been living there for more than 60 years. But I would advise you to start now and try to get your title. And the challenge, the challenge I found in getting titles, because you're saying it's a massive piece of land. I've been trying to get titles for persons in situations like these. And the biggest problem I encounter? The problem I encounter sometimes is paying up the taxes. Because when you look at some of these massive properties, they are valued $100 million on the title. And sometimes for you to pay up these back taxes. And remember, if taxes are owing, the government can only charge you back tax for 7 years. But sometimes when you look on the taxes owing on some of these properties, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And it's a little unfair for you alone to go and pay up all of that just for you to get your title when everybody else will benefit. It would put in situations like these if everybody could come together and pay up the taxes, because you're not going to be able to get your title if the tax is not paid up. And that can be a challenge. But I understand your situation, and you say you bought it from this person. You bought it for some time now, for more than 8 years. So I'm going to encourage you to give me a call afterwards, and I would love to discuss the matter with you a little further. But let us be careful what we buy, because as I said, some people are selling trouble, and some of us are quick to buy trouble. Sometimes when I warn my clients, they will tell me, but everybody has been on it already. Well, what can I say? It's my duty to warn. The number to call, 922-4113, 876-922-4113 to 5, and the text line is 876-387-3183. And I want to say hello to the family of Mrs. Lucilda Bryan, Miss Shirley Bryan from Sandberry Grove, Stuyvesant. Mrs. Bryan was a JP for years, a retired postmistress. She was laid to rest at the Stuyvesant Baptist Church in a moving funeral service on Saturday. And I want to say hello in particular to Leo, Challery, Hyman, and all the rest of the children, Maverick, Mark, okay, on the loss of a wonderful mother. And pray that the Lord will lay her down gently. So hello to all of them, especially to Leo, who I know never misses my program. The number to call, 922-4113-5. And the text line, send me a WhatsApp message or a text message to 876-387-3183. Good afternoon, Attorney Brown. My dad, who's in his 90s, promised to give me a plot of land that was surveyed in the 60s but has no title. What do we have to do to obtain a title? Since Dad is 90, if the land has no title, I would encourage you to let Dad give you an indenture. We call it a common law title. So I would encourage you can get them at the bookstore. That is if the land has no title. And also Dad make a will as well, willing the property to you. In the meantime, get it surveyed and see if you can get the title while Dad is still around. But get something in writing. It's not going to be good enough if Dad should pass on to say, hey, he said he was going to give it to me. Let him do it in a will. Let him do a conveyance or an indenture. Get it surveyed and start the title while Dad is around with you. Do not wait, please. The text line is 876-387-3183. Remember, you can also send a WhatsApp message on the same number, 387-3183. If you'd like to get a title for your land, you have the survey diagram like this person who bought the land. Just send me a message. All you have to say in the text message to me is title. And I really prefer if you send it to me on WhatsApp so I can just send you some documents. So all you have to do is send me a WhatsApp message, 876-387-3183. Just say title. That's the only thing you have to say in the message, TITLE. And I will assist you. The number is to call 922-4113-5. Also, I'm encouraging persons, I think I said that in the last program, and I want to reinforce that. I'm saying to persons, do not sign documents without legal advice. Don't let somebody come and say, Miss Brown, let me see how you write your name. Okay? Be careful. Be careful how you sign any document. Any document you get to sign, if it's not your lawyer and somebody else's lawyer, take it to your lawyer to look at. Anybody giving you anything to sign, say, I need to carry it to take home to look at it. If you can't afford a lawyer, ask somebody in your community who might understand. The JPs might understand, the principal, the teacher, the doctor, your child who you have sent to school might understand, but don't just take documents and sign them. And sometimes many of us we're so desperate to get a little piece of the rock. And I understand the desperation because a lot of people really want to put down some roots, and it's hard to find a piece of land to buy. So sometimes I quarrel with my clients and say, how you could go and do something so stupid in buying. But I have to quarrel and draw back because it's easy for me to talk. A lot of persons out there are desperate, trying to find a little place so they can put down a piece of steel and some block. But I want to encourage us. Remember some years ago, one man called me how he had bought a piece of land, put up his house and returned from abroad. And the man he bought it from went and borrowed a mortgage and the bank sold everything including his house. That's why sometimes I have to be a little strict on my clients and really, you might say sometimes I'm a little unreasonable in terms of I might get a little upset when I see my clients do foolishness, which is, and a lot of us can't afford the attorneys. So remember, I keep telling you, every Saturday at the Bethel Baptist Church in Halfway Street, and as usual, the Kingston persons are the ones who benefit, but every Saturday between 10 and 12 in Halfway Street at the Bethel Baptist Church, there's a legal clinic. The fee is just $500. You can see a lawyer who will give you advice and tell you what to do, what not to do. But I'm going to beg persons, and Khaleesi and I, we are not mean with our advice. You call us, we'll never say, hey, you have to come in. We will talk to you. Because sometimes I prefer to talk to you more than for you to go and do foolishness. So we will always assist you in giving the advice. But I want to encourage my clients, please, please, please be very, very careful. Be very, very careful how you buy land and also how you sell land as well. 3 persons have called since today to say, I want to sell a piece of land. I'm saying to all of you, get the land valued first. And don't let the person who is buying it do the valuation. I had a situation where a gentleman called me from abroad to say he was selling a piece of land to a tenant. The tenant had got a valuation for $15 million. I insisted that he needed to do his own valuation. So I got a valuer for him. The valuer valued the property at $35 million. And the tenant had a proper valuation. So be very, very careful. Be very, very careful. Get your property valued. $5 million might sound good enough. Getting the land sale for $5 million and that sounds good. But it's probably valued $7 million. Can you afford to give away $2 million in these times? So that's my encouragement to my listeners. All the persons who called me before, get a valuer. You have persons who are called valuers. Their job, they have trained. They are professionals. They know how to determine the value for a property. I can't tell you how much to sell a 1 acre of land for in Trelawney. Nobody can just tell you off the top of your head. You need the professionals to come in and value it. And sometimes you say, I can't afford the valuation, but sometimes we are penny wise and pound foolish. So get it valued. And sometimes you can ask for an estimate of valuation. Some persons will do, some valuers will do a letter of valuation, which is not very expensive, like the full valuation with pictures and so on. So I'm begging persons, don't just jump and say, I send for $5 million because $5 million sounds good. I'm Gloria Brown, and this is Land Solutions. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:15.
Become the hero on the scene by taking the COVID vaccine. Get vaccinated as soon as you get all the facts. Don't listen to the rumors. This vaccine might just make it possible for teachers to sit face to face with schoolers. This vaccine make it safer for everybody, from the young to the elderly. Don't you want to go back to living normally when things were more orderly? And if you want to live a long good life, then we all have to do what's right. So let's get vaccinated along with the heroes on the front line. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
No matter who you are, where you are, or where you are, do link up with everybody. We're here to help, putting the solution in your hands for the hustlers and 9-to-5ers, the bill payers and the bill forgetters, the credit senders and the plan buyers, for those without bank account and those who have bank accounts. It's like we said, this are the money up for everybody. That's why life is better with Link. Download the app today.
Join us for 5 exhilarating days of the most anticipated high school track and field sporting event, the Issa Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Athletics Championship, and it's live on onespotmedia.com pay-per-view, March 28 to April 1. Purchase your regular season pass for only US $37.99, or the day passes, days 1, 2, and 3, for US $12.99 each. Day 4, $17.99 US, and day 5, $23.99 US. Simply log into onespotmedia.com, select the pay-per-view tab, and buy your ticket. You may also download the One Spot Media app and watch on the go. Purchase your pay-per-view ticket today.
It's the final segment of Land Solutions for today, Monday, the 27th of March, 2023. Time to get in those calls. Those of you who have been wavering whether to pick up the phone and call and to get an answer on this or that subject having to do with land, you still have a little time. Take advantage of the next 13 minutes or so. Here are the numbers to call: 876 922 4113 to 5. 876 922 4113 to 5. The text line for Land Solutions is the same as the WhatsApp number: 876 387 3183. 876 387 3183. The website is landsolutionsja.com. Landsolutionsja.com. The email address is gloria@landsolutionsja.com. gloria@landsolutionsja.com. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/landsolutionsja. facebook.com/landsolutionsja. The law firm Brown, Findley and Company is headquartered in Suite 39 of the Winchester Business Center, corner of Winchester Road and Hope Road in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew. You're encouraged to call ahead. The numbers to call the law firm Brown, Findley and Company: 876-908-1950 or 876-908-3518. The law firm Brown, Findley and Company is headquartered in Suite 39, as we said, of the Winchester Business Center, corner of Winchester Road and Hope Road in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew. They also have an office at Shop 6 upstairs, the Jamaica National Building in Ocho Rios, St. Anne. You're encouraged you're reminded, we should say, that there is an extended period of time, or a designated period of time, on Thursday, every Thursday between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. For that Land Solutions Legal Aid Clinic. Of course, the usual services of the lawyers available, and all you need is to call ahead just to make sure you are properly equipped and you have whatever documents is necessary to take with you to the law firm Brown, Findley and Company. The numbers to call: Brown, Findley and Company, 876-908-1950 or 876-908-3518. Once again, here's attorney at law Gloria Brown.
Thank you, Dervan. And just to listeners, I'll be in Ocho Rios this Thursday, God willing. So this Thursday I'll be in, and I'll be in for quite a few Thursdays. Okay, so but remember, an attorney is there every day. You may go in and see her at the Senate, or I'll be there on a Thursday. The numbers to call: 876-922-4113 to 5. 876-922-4113 to 5. And the text line or the WhatsApp line is 387-3183. Or you want to send me an email: gloria@landsolutionsja.com. gloria@landsolutionsja.com. I have been on a piece of land for 60 years, and I want to own it. With no back taxes, or with back taxes, can I proceed to survey it? Okay, I want to encourage my listeners. The word is survey. Okay, it's not severe. Survey, survey, just as in the song, when I survey the one just crossed. Survey. Okay, severe is a different word. So this is a word I want my listeners to really, okay, master. Survey, and you get a surveyor to survey your land. Okay, so I don't want my listeners or my clients to be telling me that it's severe in the land. It's survey. I know the English language not so easy. But if you have been on the land for 60 years, yes, taxes or no taxes, you should be able to get it surveyed. And then when you have surveyed it, send me a message just to see title. And then we will assist you in getting a title for your land. And this is where I want to see all of my listeners reaching. Get your land surveyed and let us assist you in titling it before problems come. Because as I say on this program all the time, I'm tired of putting out fires. The clients are coming to me because they went to pay the taxes and somebody has paid it already. Or they went to survey the land and somebody objected. So how about dealing with it before the problem starts? That's what I want to encourage my listeners. While nobody is giving you any problem, your parents left it for you, your parents had it before you, sort it out. And please remember, Generation Z or whatever generation, if your parents sold a piece of land for $1 and they have no pastor and it's not your business that they sold it too cheaply, that is their business. You can't come back and say, I want back the land because Granny, or it wasn't Granny one. If it wasn't Granny one, it's not yours. Yes, Dervan.
Another caller for you, Ms. Brown.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ms. Brown. Thank you for
Yes, good afternoon.
Just a quick question, if you mind. Can a will be made in the following fashion? I will all of what I have to someone, and in the event of their death, then to go to someone else. Is that a possible manner of a will? So say, for example, I have died, and I want to ensure that it goes to a particular person, and if for whatever reason, when the will is, comes about, that particular person is dead, then it goes to subsequent, and that is stated in the will. Can that is a form that is legally acceptable?
My challenge with that is that when should the person die? If the person should die at the time of my death or at the time of probate or when?
At the time of probate.
But suppose the person told they take 10 years to probate. That's my challenge.
Oh.
So if we should say the person is alive at the time of my death, then the person should get it.
Okay, good point, you're making.
Or the person is alive 5 years after my death, the person should get it. But you need to have some timeline to tie it down. Because it might suit me not to probate that will until that person dies.
I didn't think of that. I see the point you're making. That is insightful. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Take care.
Take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.
Yes, bye-bye. That's an interesting question from the listener. So the listener wanted to know, if you can make a will to say, I will my property to John Brown if he's alive. Okay, but when is the cutoff point? A lot of persons will say, I will give my property to my wife if she should be alive 1 year after my death or 5 years after my death. But you really can't just put it indefinitely because the person will die. And that can be a bit of a challenge. You have to be so careful in wording the will. But while we don't have any specific wording, we still have to be careful how we word it. Okay, I saw the message from the person. Can I have a title, please? And thanks very much. All right, I'm going to send you the form to tell you exactly what I want from you. And the form I send to these persons, a form that asks for two persons who have known the land for 30 years, and I don't want them to write anything. I just want the person's name, age, address, occupation. I will prepare what these persons must sign. I'm going to ask you for the names of the persons you want on your title, and you can put 1 million people on your title. I'm going to want a survey diagram. Anything you have to support that you own the land, old tax papers, an old diagram, an old will, maybe old light bill, old water bill, children's birth certificate, anything that can help me to support your claim to the land, I'm going to want you to send it. And I'm going to want a history of the land with dates. John Brown owned the land from 1950. He died in 1970. His daughter Mary Brown took possession, and then she sold it to Peter Black in 2005, and Peter sold it to Mary Brown in 2008. I want a little history with names and dates, and the history should go back at least 30 years. So we need a history from maybe at least from 1990 or before. The longer you can go back, the better. So I'm going to send this form to this person with a sample of the history. Fill out the form, WhatsApp it back to me with the survey diagram, and we'll advise. Yes, Dervan.
Another one for you, perhaps the last one for today. Let's see.
Thank you, Dervan. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yes, how can I help?
Yes. Well, this is a long-standing issue. When my mother died, one of her tenants, before she died, had forced her to do, well, I shouldn't say force, I should use the word force. But by by some trickery, had gotten her to sell him a piece, sell him the land. Now, no evaluation report was done, and when she decided to make a transaction in terms of changing over the will from her husband's name to hers, she died. Yeah? Now, when she died, the gentleman proceeded to put pressure on myself. Yeah? Even without an evaluation report, even without any survey as document on the piece of land.
Sir, you need to go and sit with a lawyer with this matter.
I need to seek a lawyer in the matter.
Yes, you did. When did your mother die?
1997.
But sir, and you have not taken the matter to court in all this time?
Well, I was forced not to take it to court by his association with one of the renowned gangs of the town.
Sir, it's 26 years now. I don't see how you're going to be able to do anything about that.
Yes.
26 years.
Yes.
You know, you have a challenge there. That's a long time ago.
Yes.
But you can still go and sit with a lawyer, but I don't have a lot of hope.
Yes.
You need to act. Things like these, you act quickly.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, I thank you for your answer still, right?
Okay, sir.
And I definitely will go seek a lawyer.
Sir. Okay. Well, and this is what I want to encourage my listeners in the last few minutes of the program. That we act quickly in relation to matters. Do not wait. If somebody dies, you need to probate the will within the first 3 years. So maybe you might say, I need a year to grieve and so on. But immediately, as soon as you can, get the death certificate and probate the will. And these days, when you're applying for the death certificate, please apply for about 5. Because if I'm going to probate a will for you, or the person never made a will, I'm going to administer the estate, I need 2 copies for myself. One for the court, which you are not going to get back, and one for the stamp office, because they want to see an original these days. So I'm going to need 2 for myself. So I say to my clients, try and apply for 5. Remember, the first copy is expensive. The additional copies are not very expensive. So you're applying for birth certificates, marriage certificates, death certificates, try and get about 5 copies. And remember, you can always send me a message even after the program. My number is 387-3183. 387-3183 is my number, and we have an office in Ultra Rios, one in Winchester Business Center. I'm in my office tomorrow, Wednesday, Friday. I'm in Ultra Rios on Thursday, God willing. So give me a call, 387-3183 or 908-1950. I want to say thanks this afternoon to Dervan and to the rest of the staff. Thank you so much for facilitating me this afternoon. I'm Gloria Brown, and this has been Land Solutions. Have a good day, everyone.
Help us protect Jamaica's borders. Tell us about any illegal guns coming through customs-controlled areas. Call Crime Stop at 311. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
3:30. Healthy habits start with washing your hands several times daily with soap and water. If soap is not available, then use Benjamin's hand sanitizer and use Benjamin's rubbing alcohol for frequently touched surfaces to help prevent the spread of germs and viruses. Don't touch your face with your hands or rub your eyes. Any virus on your hands can make you sick, so wash your hands frequently. Your health is in your hands. Stay healthy with Benjamin's, a trusted name for over a century.
On your marks. Set.
The Issa Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Athletics Championships takes place from Tuesday, March 28 to Saturday, April 1 at the National Stadium, and Power 106 FM brings you all the action. Tune into both sides of the story. Tuesday, March 28 to Friday, March 31 for updates. Round up during Power Play, Tuesday, March 28 to Friday, March 31, and live simulcast on Saturday, April 1. Coverage of the Issa Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Athletics Championships is brought to you by Imperial Optical Jamaica, Coast to Coast Group of Companies, Boscobel Hardware, Marja Black Quarry and Block Factory, Community Meds Pharmacy, Fire Equipment Sales and Services Limited, Massive Used Parts Super Value Auto Care Center Limited, VW Investments, and CIWI Electrical Sales Limited. The Jamaica Agricultural Commodities Regulatory Authority, JACRA, is responsible for licensing, certification, cess administration, and the provision of training and advisory services to farmers and other key stakeholders, as it regulates coffee, cocoa, coconut, and the spices including pimento, nutmeg, ginger, and turmeric. We own the Jamaica Blue Mountain and Jamaica High Mountain coffee trademarks. Please call us at 876-758-1259 or email legal@jacra.org.
Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106.
Let's not quarrel. Let's not fight. Let's get together. We all can unite. Then take off these chains from our feet. Cause we're gonna walk on freedom street. Everybody knows we're gonna walk down freedom street.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. We're still taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well. That number is 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. We're streaming live video on the Dervan Malcolm Facebook page. If you're not there yet, log on to Facebook. In the search box atop the page, type DERVAN MALCOLM, and you too will be able to not just hear but see what's happening in the studios of Power 106 FM. If you do not have a Facebook account, no sweat, there's always YouTube. All you need is a smart device like a smartphone, tablet, computer, laptop, desktop, any one of those. Then you need internet connection and, importantly, internet connectivity. One sure way to test for connectivity is by opening a browser like Google Chrome. And if you're able to browse, you're good to go. If not, then you might have an issue on your hands there, which we hope you'll resolve eventually. Good afternoon to those who have joined us since the last time we checked. Seasoned Drummer says, hi, Dervan. That's when he wasn't hearing the program for a bit. And he says, good now. So that was earlier on. Asha Ash says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan. Just tuning in from London, England. Welcome, Asha Ash, and all the other Jamaicans and friends of Jamaica in London. Good to have you join us on both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. Now, here's some useful information. It's Champs time. This is Champs Week. The Issa Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Athletics Championships at the National Stadium in Independence Park, St. Andrew, Jamaica. The police have implemented traffic changes to facilitate the smooth staging of the Issa Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Athletics Championships at the National Stadium. The adjustments will be in place effective 2 p.m. daily, starting tomorrow, Tuesday, March 28th. So those listening who are accustomed to traveling that particular route in the vicinity of the National Stadium after 2 p.m., please note the police have implemented traffic changes to facilitate the smooth staging of the Issa Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Athletics Championships at the National Stadium, and the adjustments place effective 2 p.m. daily, starting tomorrow, Tuesday, the 28th of March, and will run until Saturday, the 1st of March. So here's what will happen before the event, as in before 2 p.m., a one-way system will be in place. What does that mean? Arthur Wint Drive will be operated as one-way from North Avenue to Roosevelt Avenue. So before the start of Champs on any given day, and it starts tomorrow, Tuesday, the 28th of March, and ends Saturday, the 1st of April. So before the event, there will be a one-way system in place, and that's Arthur Wint Drive being operated as one-way from North Avenue to Roosevelt Avenue. The upper section of Arthur Wint Drive from Mountain View Avenue to Gate E4 will be operated as one-way to access the stadium car park. Let's repeat that information. The upper section of Arthur Wint Drive from Mountain View Avenue to Gate 4 will be operated as one-way to access the stadium car park. Now to the road closures and diversions. A sterile area will be created along Arthur Wint Drive between Roosevelt Avenue and Gate E4, just above the main entrance leading to the stadium. Barriers will be placed across the roadway at both points. So that's a sterile, that area is regarded as and designated as a sterile area, which will be created along Arthur Wint Drive between Roosevelt Avenue and Gate E4, just before the main entrance leading to the stadium. And then barriers will be placed across the roadway at both points. JUTC buses and other vehicles traveling along Arthur Wint Drive to Mountain View Avenue will be diverted onto Roosevelt Avenue and Stanton Terrace. Once again, JUTC buses and other vehicles traveling along Arthur Wint Drive to Mountain View Avenue will be diverted onto Roosevelt Avenue and Stanton Terrace. Now the checkpoints. Mountain View Avenue, Arthur Wint Drive. There will be a police checkpoint at that location. The Mountain View Avenue, Arthur Wint Drive intersection, there will be a police checkpoint at this location. Only vehicles conveying patrons, only vehicles carrying patrons attending the event will be allowed to turn from Mountain View Avenue onto Arthur Wint Drive. Let's give that to you again. Only vehicles carrying passengers. Put another way, only vehicles conveying patrons attending the event. So the key there is patrons. If you're a patron who is attending Champs, then your vehicle will be allowed to turn from Mountain View Avenue onto Arthur Wint Drive. All other vehicles, including JUTC buses, will continue straight along Mountain View Avenue. So no turn off for you if yours is just another vehicle as opposed to a vehicle carrying patrons to Champs. Another checkpoint, Stanton Terrace, Roosevelt Avenue. That's intersection, Stanton Terrace, Roosevelt Avenue. There will be a police checkpoint at that location. Only VIPs in vehicles with stickers will be allowed access to Roosevelt Avenue. Let's repeat, Stanton Terrace, Roosevelt Avenue intersection. There will be a police checkpoint at that location. Only VIPs in vehicles with stickers will be allowed access to Roosevelt Avenue. All other vehicles will be diverted onto Stanton Terrace via Mountain View Avenue or Old Hope Road. Now, there are some no parking zones. Make a note of them. No parking will be permitted along the following roadways: Arthur Wint Drive, Roosevelt Avenue, Stanton Terrace, Mountain View Avenue between Nannyville and Old Hope Road, Latham Avenue, and North Avenue. Those are all no parking zones, no parking areas. No parking will be permitted along Arthur Wint Drive, Roosevelt Avenue, Stanton Terrace, Mountain View Avenue between Nannyville and Old Hope Road, Latham Avenue, and North Avenue. Now let's look at the emergency exit. Statue Road will be operated as an emergency exit and should be clear at all times. The key word there is emergency. You can't play with this. This is serious business. So the emergency exit, Statue Road, is going to perform that, is going to be used as such. Statue Road will be operated as an emergency exit and should be clear at all times. Please spread the word. Now, after the event, on any given day, remember the event starts tomorrow and ends on Sunday. We're talking champs here. After the event on a given day, like tomorrow, for example, after the event tomorrow, once the first day of champs is over, here's what will happen. All road closures will be removed to allow free movement of traffic from the stadium. So after the event, all road closures on any given day, whether Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, after the event on those days, all road closures will be removed to allow free movement of traffic from the stadium. However, Arthur Wint Drive will be operated as one way from the National Stadium to Tom Redcombe Avenue. Again, this is after the event. Arthur Wint Drive will be operated as one way from the National Stadium to Stanton Terrace. We'll give you some more useful champs information after the break.
For any project, ABC Electrical Sales has all your electrical supplies at the best prices. 8 Hagley Park Road, Kingston, 754-3714. The time by ABC Electrical Sales is
3:45. The College of Agriculture, Science and Education, CASE, continues to play its part in revolutionizing Jamaica's productive and education sectors for the demands of the 21st century. Learn more about CASE's philosophy, programs, and services in a special feature during Farm Talk with Alfie McKenzie every second Monday at 18 a.m. on Power 106 FM. This feature is brought to you by the College of Agriculture, Science and Education, CASE, Pasley Gardens, Portland. That's a special feature showcasing the College of Agriculture, Science and Education, CASE, every second Monday at 6:18 a.m. during Farm Talk with Alfie McKenzie, right here on Power 106 FM.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm, and as you know, it's all about champs. the Issa Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Championships this week, starting tomorrow. And the RGR Gleaner Communications Group is quite involved in this experience. And so we're playing our part by sharing with you some of the traffic changes so that you can be ready with both those who will be attending champs and those who will be going about their business can have a clear picture of what to expect. And we're trying our best in that regard. So we were saying after the event, after champs, whether tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, after the event, all road closures will be removed to allow free movement of traffic from the stadium. However, Arthur Wint Drive will be operated as one-way from the National Stadium to Tom Redcombe Avenue. Roosevelt Avenue will be operated as one-way from the National Stadium to Stanton Terrace. Latham Avenue will be operated as one-way from Roosevelt Avenue to Old Hope Road. Vehicles occupying the upper section of the car park will use the upper section of Arthur Wint Drive to exit. Vehicles occupying the upper section of the car park will use the upper section of Arthur Wint Drive to exit. The public is encouraged to obey the directions of the police. All right, so we just shared with you information pertinent to your movements for the rest of this week, especially if those movements involve activity in and around the National Stadium and the entire Independence Park facility. All right, let's keep it going here on your program, both sides of the story. Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaner's website, go-jamaica.com. The Gleaner, through their website, jamaica-gleaner.com, telling us that 2 more monkeypox cases have been recorded. The Ministry of Health and Wellness is reporting that Jamaica has confirmed 2 more cases of, well, these days they call it Mpox for short. People have gotten accustomed to saying monkeypox. Well, we're being told it's Mpox. That's another way to reference this condition. This brings the island's total confirmed cases to 21. So there are 21 cases of Mpox or monkeypox in Jamaica. And 20-year-old St. James man charged for alleged buggery of schoolgirl. Teenager fatally stabs teacher, wounds 5 people. That's in Brazil. Farmers encouraged to guard against TR4 disease here in Jamaica. And that was just another update for you in terms of the stories trending according to the Gleaner's online platform, jamaica-gleaner.com. In the meantime, let's look forward to more of your feedback. The lines are open, 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. Those are the numbers to call. Whatever is on your mind, your thoughts, your ideas, your suggestions, your criticisms, recommendations, your beliefs, the lines are open, 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well. That number is 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. And Alfred says, heard your response, but not clear on Winston, the Whip Williams. Maybe you weren't listening. You were distracted, Alfred. As far as we know, he is alive and kicking, and we're grateful for that. Hope you heard this time, Alfred. This one says, it's always a blessing and honor to tune into your program, Sir Malcolm. Big up to each and everyone who are clocking into your program, coming from Rohan Johnson from Atlas Security in Ocho Rios, St. Anne. Thank you very much, Rohan, for your message. This one says, the PM said a company needed 40 workers and he's unable to find them. Which company? Is it a nickel and dime company where they want people to work 18 hours for less than the minimum wage? I am not the one, this person says, in response to what the Prime Minister said. And let's go down the line here. Lloyd Berry, aka King Lloyd, says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan. Good day to the world. Mr. Dervan, this is it. This is it. This is it. Or it happens. It happened yesterday. Public safety alert based on latest sampling results data. The Philadelphia, Pennsylvania Water Department is now confident tap water from the Baxter drinking water plant will remain safe to drink and use at least through to 11:59 p.m. today, Monday, the 27th of March, 2023. Fill water containers at home or purchase a suggested 1 gallon per person for an emergency supply. Mr. Dervan, it's not just Jamaica in a water crisis. We don't have water shortage. We just have a chemical spill in the water here. Good day again, Sir D. Oh, and he has included a clip of the news coming out of Philadelphia in Pennsylvania. Sorry to hear of that situation. Hope it is cleared up literally and figuratively. Lloyd Berry, aka King Lloyd. The person who was asking whether it is legal or illegal or legal or unlawful for one to apply for a registered title without counsel, the answer is no. That's the answer from Attorney at Law Gloria Brown to the person who was asking if it is illegal or unlawful for one to apply for a registered title without counsel. The answer is no. Hope you heard that. Here's another message. Good afternoon. Can you repeat the champ's information regarding 2 p.m.? We'll do our best. See if we can bring it back up. Traffic changes for champs. Let's see what we have here. The police have implemented traffic changes to facilitate the smooth staging of the Issa Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Athletics Championships at the National Stadium. The adjustments will be in place effective 2 p.m. daily. The adjustments will be in place effective 2 p.m. daily. So at the start of both sides of the story, 2 p.m., that's when the champs adjustments will kick in. The champs flow, the champs traffic flow will kick in. The changes will become effective 2 p.m. every day. 2 p.m. tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So the adjustments will be in place effective 2 p.m. daily, starting tomorrow, Tuesday, the 28th of March, and will run until Saturday, the 1st of April. Now, before the event, a one-way system will be in place. So before champs gets going, whether Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, a one-way system will be in place. Arthur Wint Drive will be operated as one-way from North Avenue to Roosevelt Avenue. Arthur Wint Drive, we're repeating, Arthur Wint Drive will be operated as one-way from North Avenue to Roosevelt Avenue. The upper section of Arthur Wint Drive from Mountain View Avenue to Gate E4 will be operated as one-way to access the stadium car park. Let's do that again. The upper section of Arthur Wint Drive from Mountain View Avenue to Gate E4 will be operated as one-way to access the stadium car park. Put another way, the upper section of Arthur Wint Drive from Mountain View Avenue to Gate E4 will be operated as one-way to access the stadium car park. Now let's take a look at the road closures and diversions once again. A sterile area will be created along Arthur Wint Drive. A sterile area will be created along Arthur Wint Drive. Now, you know we don't like to take these things for granted. So just that we're clear, a sterile area speaks to an area that is cleared or operated in such a way that the area and how it is structured is beneficial to those who are supposed to use the area. We don't want to complicate it too much, but it's an area which not everything or not a lot of things might not happen in that point because it is a sterile area. So when you're told to stay away from that area, it means just that. You're not supposed to be at that point. Or it could be creating a sterile area for a particular group of people or a particular scenario. So I don't know. I just thought I'd put that in so that you wouldn't be at sea for those who right. Let's leave that there for now. So the sterile area will be created along Arthur Wint Drive between Roosevelt Avenue and Gate E4, just above the main entrance leading to the stadium. So a sterile area will be created along Arthur Wint Drive between Roosevelt Avenue and Gate E4, just above the main entrance leading to the stadium. Barriers will be placed across the roadway at both points. Which roadway are we talking about? Arthur Wint Drive between Roosevelt Avenue and Gate E4, just above the main entrance leading to the stadium. Barriers will be placed across the roadway at both points to make it a sterile area. Now, JUTC buses and other vehicles traveling along Arthur Wint Drive to Mountain View Avenue will be diverted onto Roosevelt Avenue and Stanton Terrace. One moment, please.
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4 o'clock.
Let's get together. We all can unite. Then take off these chains from our cold fears. Cause we gonna walk.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 4. Quelle heure est-il en français? Il est 4h30. Time just changed. 现在几点了？4点01分. A minute past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you had a checkup lately? If not, now is a good time. Let's not wait till we get sick to get a checkup. How about that? Checking in with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Still taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well. That number is 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. And because the RGR Gleaner Communications Group is totally involved in the overall production of Champs 2023, we all have to play our part in terms of the making sure that the necessary information is disseminated, and once people are informed, it means their decisions will be likewise. You can make informed decisions once you have the information, once you have the facts. And so we're using the opportunity before. You might want to do a test run later, or do it now to see what it would work, how it would work for you. You could, just a thought. So that sterile area that we mentioned earlier on will be created along Arthur Wint Drive between Roosevelt Avenue and Gate E4, just above the main entrance leading to the stadium. Barriers will be placed across the roadway at both points. JUTC buses and other vehicles traveling along Arthur Wint Drive to Mountain View Avenue will be diverted onto Roosevelt Avenue and Stanton Terrace. Once again, JUTC buses and other vehicles traveling along Arthur Wint Drive to Mountain View Avenue will be diverted onto Roosevelt Avenue and Stanton Terrace. Let's look at the checkpoints now. Mountain View Avenue, Arthur Wint Drive, that's a checkpoint. The Mountain View Avenue, Arthur Wint Drive intersection, that's a checkpoint. There will be a police checkpoint at that location. Only vehicles carrying patrons attending the event will be allowed to turn from Mountain View Avenue onto Arthur Wint Drive. Again, only vehicles conveying patrons, carrying patrons, transporting patrons attending the event, not patrons attending any event, patrons attending Champs. So there will be a police checkpoint at the Mountain View Avenue, Arthur Wint Drive intersection, because only vehicles carrying patrons, conveying patrons, transporting patrons attending the event will be allowed to turn from Mountain View Avenue onto Arthur Wint Drive. All other vehicles, including JUTC buses, will continue straight along Mountain View Avenue. All other vehicles, including JUTC buses, will continue straight along Mountain View Avenue. So that's one of the checkpoints, Mountain View Avenue, Arthur Wint Drive. Make a note of that. The next checkpoint is Stanton Terrace and Roosevelt Avenue. Stanton Terrace, Roosevelt Avenue checkpoint. There will be a police checkpoint at this location, Stanton Terrace, Roosevelt Avenue location. Only VIPs. Now, we would like to think we're all VIPs in our own right? But anyway, only VIPs in vehicles with stickers will be allowed access to Roosevelt Avenue. Only VIPs in vehicles with stickers will be allowed access to Roosevelt Avenue. This is a massive undertaking. It's the biggest event of its kind in the world. It's Champs. There is nowhere else in the world where you have this kind of a championship, high school championship, that is done at the highest level in terms of the standards, no compromising on the standards. So it's a major operation. So the next checkpoint is the Stanton Terrace, Roosevelt Avenue intersection. there will be a police checkpoint at that location. Only VIPs in vehicles with stickers will be allowed access to Roosevelt Avenue. All other vehicles will be diverted onto Stanton Terrace via Mountain View Avenue or Old Hope Road. All other vehicles will be diverted onto Stanton Terrace via Mountain View Avenue or Old Hope Road. There are some no parking areas we need to be mindful of around the National Stadium. Listen up, no parking areas. You have nobody else to blame but yourself if you end up parking in those areas and your vehicles are towed away or otherwise confined. Here are the no parking areas. No parking will be permitted along the following roadways: Arthur Wint Drive, no parking. Roosevelt Avenue, no parking. Stanton Terrace, no parking. Mountain View Avenue between Nannyville and Old Hope Road, no parking. Latham Avenue, no parking. North Avenue, no parking. Those are all the no parking areas. North Avenue, Latham Avenue, Mountain View Avenue between Nannyville and Old Hope Road, Stanton Terrace, Roosevelt Avenue, and Arthur Wint Drive. Those are all no parking areas. There's an emergency exit, a main emergency exit. It's Statue Road. Statue Road will be operated as an emergency exit and should be clear at all times. It goes without saying, no parking. Statue Road will be operated as an emergency exit and should be clear at all times. We hope the residents of that community have been made aware of these changes, especially those who are new to the area, those who occupy some of those new apartments on that massive complex, a couple of, a twin complex, who for the first time will be watching champs from their respective balconies. Those who have that kind of a positioning, more power to you. So this information we trust has been shared with them. So Statue Road will be operated as an emergency exit and should be clear at all times. After the event, whether tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, after the event, all road closures will be removed to allow free movement of traffic from the stadium. However, Arthur Wint Drive will be operated as one way from the National Stadium to Tom Redcombe Avenue. Roosevelt Avenue will be operated as one way from the National Stadium to Stanton Terrace. And Latham Avenue will be operated as one way from Roosevelt Avenue to Old Hope Road. Vehicles occupying the upper section of the car park will use the upper section of Arthur Wint Drive to exit. Vehicles occupying the upper section of the car park will use the upper section of Arthur Wint Drive to exit. The public is encouraged to obey the directions of the police. You see how much you mean to us, listeners? Because after going through that extensively earlier on, in came your request, or the request from this listener, to repeat the information. We hope you got it this time. We have more messages to clear. This one, good day. We need a kitchen fabricator. He can contact, and we can give the number on air, it would appear so. Someone to build kitchen fixtures. They need 2 workers. Anybody out there listening who are literally and figuratively cabinet makers? All the cabinet makers out there listening, we have a job for you. Well, depends on who gets there first, right? Or gets to those who are seeking to acquire the services of cabinet makers. So they're telling us, this person is telling us, this is a listener who goes by the moniker Yagaro, saying, "Good day, we need a kitchen fabricator," meaning someone to build kitchen fixtures. They need 2 workers. The number to call is 876-213-8621. 876-213-8621. And Yagaro, you can call us and tell us if and when you find those 2 cabinet makers, literally and figuratively, who will be engaging in this high level of kitchen fabrication, someone to build kitchen fixtures. So if you need more information, please call 876-213-8621, 876-213-8621. Yagaro, please keep us updated on that. Spider says, "Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Is it top secret why the government can't say what type of workers the company needs? And it's surprising to me that the opposition not asking what type of work." Well, let's keep asking questions until we get the answers. Thank you for your message, Spider. This one, who is this saying thank you? Person who asked us to repeat the champ's information, saying thanks. We're happy to be of assistance to you. Thank you very much for responding. The WhatsApp number 876-365-3346. And we have some other messages, do we? Yes, Karen Rowe says, "Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm and listeners, just joining. Welcome, Karen Rowe. It's good to have you on board. All the very best to you." And this one, I think this one came in late last Friday. I think what the previous caller was hinting at is that legal action may be brought against a private citizen who speaks ill of or defames someone. However, politicians are insulated by parliamentary privilege, regardless of how distasteful or disparaging their utterances are. Thank you for your message and all the best. Here is another one. "Good afternoon, Sir Dervan. Jennifer from Kencott. I'm offline. Phone mashup. Banga a carry the swing. LOL." Oh dear. Sorry to hear that your phone is no longer functional. We hope you get a gift of a new phone soon. Thanks for the update though. One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:15. 2,000 years ago in Jerusalem, multitudes gathered to hear the words of Jesus Christ, to feel his love, to learn of him and his gospel of peace and hope. As you and the ones you love gather this Easter season to hear his words and feel his love, join with us to learn more about Jesus and his gospel at easter.churchofjesuschrist.org.
Both sides of the story.
Do you have a title for your land? Are you thinking about buying or selling land? How much is your property worth? Tune into Both Sides of the Story with Dervan Malcolm on Power 106 FM every last Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. for The NLA and You, a program that examines the National Land Agency's role in building an efficient and transparent land titling system for Jamaicans. That's The NLA and You on Both Sides of the Story with Dervan Malcolm every last Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. The National Land Agency. One agency, one goal, committed to serve you better.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Cleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, taking your calls on 876-922-4112 to 5, 876-922-4112 to 5. Let's clear some more of your messages, and there are many. Norman Hines, good afternoon to you. Velta Wilson, good to have you on board as well. Thank you for tuning in. Pleasure to have you join us here on both sides of the story. Steve McDonald asks, how do I get a vehicle with a sticker? You need to get I think that would be some form of accreditation. It's the accreditation which would afford you the sticker, because it would come with the accreditation based on your standing as far as the event is concerned. Do you fall in the VIP category? Are you one of the athletes, Steve, who will be running? Depending on the category in which you fall. And that will determine the kind of sticker that you get. He says, is Mas Joe Donkey Cart a vehicle? How would he get a sticker? Well, it's up to Mas Joe whether Mas Joe had taken all the steps necessary to ensure that he got a sticker. So that's up to Mas Joe. And let's see. Jamaican American Association of Central Florida, good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for tuning in. Joan Edgehill in particular and the team, good afternoon. The Jamaican American Association of Central Florida. Good afternoon to all the Jamaicans in Central Florida and the Friends of Jamaica too, listening. Good to have you on board. Greetings, Mr. Dervan and listeners. Be well, says Joan Edgehill, I would imagine, operating the Jamaican American Association of Central Florida Facebook platform, perhaps. Steve says, I continue to question the amount of financial give back from CHAMPS to schools, especially those in rural areas. Well, this issue comes up every year, Steve, because, whenever it comes up, what we get from the officials of ISA is that a significant amount of the funds garnered goes towards programs, other programs, other sports programs for high school students. So that's what we're usually told. And there is evidence of that as well. Who was that? Steve? Yes, Steve was asking. There's evidence of that, Steve. Right, so let's go down the line here. Don't want to miss any of the other messages. Right, so Steve says, I continue to question the amount of financial give back from CHAMPS to schools, especially those in rural areas. We see children running shoeless and on uneven surfaces, says Steve. Well, I think we're doing a little better than that these days in terms of the athletes having gear, their proper gear. I don't know. I'm not sure of them running shoeless, unless having run in the shoes, they decided they decide to rest their feet and take off the shoes. With respect to uneven surfaces, wrong jungle, not here. Not on the stadium track. There's nothing uneven about the stadium track. But thank you for your message nonetheless. Steve in Toronto, Canada. Andrew, where did his message go? Andrew says, Mr. Malcolm, it is a well-known fact that a member of, I'm not going to read the designation that you have here. No, well, you obviously don't want that message read. I mean, you have posted it, but of course, in its current form, we will not be reading it. Andrew, you have to be a little more creative, perhaps. This in and of itself, the positioning of this message is a little vulgar, and so we're going to skip over that one, Andrew. So over to you to rework it or find another way to tell us what you're trying to tell us. Elroy says, good afternoon to you, sir, and all listeners. Thanking God for another day. Stay safe. And you do likewise, Elroy. It's been a while. Ricardo in Glengoff, St. Catherine, tuned in as usual. Good afternoon, he says, and to the viewers, and thank God for life, and shout out to all the listeners from across the world. Inez Iona Campbell in Bridgeport, Connecticut says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan and viewers, checking in from beautiful Jamaica. Oh, yes, she's home. She's not in Connecticut today. She has been vacationing in Jamaica. What a thing. Enjoy, Inez Iona Campbell. All the best. Steve McDonald says, I was referring to rural areas. The playgrounds are uneven and they don't have proper running shoes. We hear you, Steve. Thank you very much for your message. Let's go to Sean, who has been holding for a little while. Hopefully the background is not too noisy where we can't hear him. Hello, good afternoon, Sean. Go ahead, please.
Good afternoon, Uncle Dervan. Malcolm, how are you doing, sir?
I'm fine, thanks. And you?
I'm great so far. I'm here taking it easy. You know what's interesting? You know what I can't wait to look forward to tomorrow? Champs. Can I ask you a question, teacher? Which school will run in the running competition tomorrow? Champs. What's the name of the high school?
It's not one school. It's many schools.
Yes.
Many high schools will have athletes performing.
Repeat that.
Students from high schools across Jamaica are competing at champs, as they have been doing for more than 100 years.
Yes. Champs has been around for decades, though. You know what I do over the weekend? I was watching a repeat of the It's a Schoolboy Football Championships on YouTube, on Sportsmax YouTube channel. And I was watching Kingston College and Calabar High School. Calabar High School, that's your school?
Yes.
Yes. All right. You're Mr. Intellectual and Mr. Educational and you're Mr. Diaspora.
I hear you.
All right. I'm going to talk about this subject. What we're really going to talk about right now is prison. Prison is a serious place. You know that it is a place where they lock up people, where they throw people in jail. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yes. Evil people, they deserve to be behind the bars. The thieves and the scammers and the rapers. Sometimes, let me tell you something. When I listen to the news, sometimes I hear they report that prisoners escape from out of prison. How could prisoners escape from out of prison like that? They just jump through a prison window and come out of the prison?
Well, people escape from time to time, and animals escape from time to time. There's nothing unusual about that.
Yeah. Yeah. All the policemen need to do, they need to go after the prisoners when they are trying to escape from out of the prison. They need to go after them. You know, I would like to become a policeman because I would like to use a gun to shoot anybody because I'm not a violent person. I never want to do that. I don't want to murder anybody or nothing like that.
Hello?
Hear me loud and clear?
No?
Yes. And you know who else I would like to see behind the bars? These politicians. You know the reason why I would like to see them in prison because the lies and the promises they make in this country. Why they have to make promises in this country all the time? That's what I dislike about the politicians. People always complain about them.
Hello?
Yes, I'm here. As I was saying to you a while ago, why these politicians have to make promises in this country all the time? That's what I dislike about them.
That's universal. It's done all over the world.
Yes. Yes, people always complain about them that they need to fix the road, etc. That kind of thing. The government really need to fix the road because it's bad. It's bad, man. But you know what else we need into this country, Uncle Dervan? We need justice. You know, when you watch the news and people say, we need justice, that kind of thing. When justice will be served in this country? I'm so sick and tired of the crime and violence and the murdering that happen in this country. When justice will be served?
That's a good question.
Yes. When it will be served, Uncle Dervan?
Like I said, that's a good question.
Yeah. All we have to do, we have to just take action against the thieves and the scammers and the murderers. We need to take action against them. That they need to face the court and justice need to be served.
All right, thank you.
And we as human beings, what we need to do, we need to be serious about everything because serious issues is going on in this world. We have to be really serious and we need to be professional. Professionalism is very important and communication is very important.
Thank you very much for the call. All the best. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. There's more after the break.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:30.
On your marks. Set.
The Issa Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Athletics Championships takes place from Tuesday, March 28 to Saturday, April 1 at the National Stadium. And Power 106 FM brings you all the action. Tune into Both Sides of the Story. Tuesday, March 28 to Friday, March 31 for updates. Roundup during Power Play. Tuesday, March 28 to Friday, March 31. And live simulcast on Saturday, April 1. Coverage of the Issa Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Athletics Championships is brought to you by LockSafe and Vault Limited, Ricardo Stationery and Office Supplies, Patients First Pharmacy, Tomating's Hardware and Farm Store, Barry's Hardware, Beverly Hills Pharmacy, Wellington Dental, Signature Products and Awards Limited, and Margins Pharmacy.
Everybody knows we gonna walk down Freedom Street. There's united we stand, divided we fall. Respect your father, brother, sisters, and all. Let's not deal with illiteracy. Work it out.
gonna walk, 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 walk. Now freedom, freedom. Everybody know we gonna walk, we gonna walk, 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 walk. Now freedom, 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 freedom.
And this is.
Well, the mirror tour.
I don't know. There's some kind of a dip. I don't know if it's from the board or.
Well, yeah, can you be the fear that them want clean from other day? So sometimes we have to look for the fear that them want.
All right.
Yeah.
Cause there's no change in sight. I see y'all big street where all men's meet. It must be freedom.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 5:28. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 5h-28. 现在地点了5点加28分. 28 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you done your homework yet? If not, now is a good time. Good afternoon to all the schoolers listening to us, all the students from the early childhood level to the secondary level. Trust you had a productive day of learning today. Hope you also manage to get in some physical activity, just as important as mental activity. As we always say, young people, socialization makes you educable. Education makes you trainable. Training makes you employable. And the right attitude makes you successful. Homework time, young people. Continuing with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Elroy says, yes, teach. It's been a while. I can listen as much as before. I'm on top house putting on a roof. I have 2 more on it. So I'll be back at class soon. All right. Please be safe, Elroy. Please be safe. And all the very best. Let's continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. This one says, Mr. Malcolm, I think Sean just wants your validation when he calls. I find your responses and non-responses amusing. Observer from Manchester. Well, observer from Manchester, Sean is a special individual, and we have to be careful in terms of how we relate to him to ensure that we leave enough time and space for him to express himself, and we try. That's what we do. After all, this is Both Sides of the Story here on Power 106 FM, and everybody has a story. Let's continue with more of your messages. 876-922-4112-5. In fact, we want to get in as well some information that would be pertinent. Let's see. 1849, members of the House of Assembly here in Jamaica were shocked when they learned that Jamaica's Chief Justice was being paid £3,000 per year, while the Chief Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court was receiving £1,200, and more so, that the President of the United States was earning less than the Governor of Jamaica. Traditionally, the President is the highest paid public employee. I remember doing some research on President Obama. At that time, he was earning $400,000 a year, along with a $150,000 expense account, a $100,000 non-taxable travel account, and $19,000 for entertainment. And in relatively recent times, they had, I think they had raised the Congress raised the figure. I don't want to give you outdated numbers now, but some time ago that was changed. And let's see what's going down the line here. Right, here we go. 1945, since it's Champs time. 1945, they marked the 35th staging of Boys Champs. On this day in 1945, the 35th staging of Boys Champs got underway at Sabina Park. Champs 1945 was dominated by one of the greatest all-round athletes Jamaica has ever produced, Lloyd Lindbergh de la Pena. In 1943, Lindy de la Pena medaled in the 440 yards, finishing second behind D.A. Ashman of St. George's. Champs was cancelled in 1944. By 1945, de la Pena was the star athlete for Monroe College, the city on the hill that cannot be hid. As captain of the Monroe team, Lindy de la Pena led by example with 2 wins, 3 second places, and 2 third-place finishes. He won the open 880 and 1 mile runs and came second in the 120-yard hurdles, the Class 1 220, and the long jump. When he finished third in the 110 and 440, his individual point tally stood at 12 points. His Class 1 4x110 team was victorious too, and he was second in a 1-2 finish with teammate R.O. Young. Lloyd Lindbergh Lindy de la Pena was the first Jamaican to play professional football in England, joining Portsmouth April 1948. He was transferred to Middlesbrough in April 1950 and became a sensation playing on the wing or inside forward. Lindy de la Pena became Borough's leading scorer in the 1951, 52, 53, 54, and 55, 56 seasons, and scored a total 93 league and FA Cup goals in 270 appearances. Lindy de la Pena moved on to Mansfield Town in June 1958, making 115 appearances and scoring 27 goals over 2 years. He retired from league football in 1960 and returned to Jamaica, where he became Director of Sports at the Jamaica Broadcasting Corporation. Lindy has also represented Jamaica in golf. Great sportsman, Lindy de la Pena. All right, let's give you another bit of information which is still pertinent in our time. Let's see. Oh, this was this the vomiting sickness? 1957, a strange malady had made an appearance in Albany and surrounding districts in St. Mary, and many children were suffering. The malady attacked the eyes, causing them to drain. Seems highly contagious and lasts about 3 weeks. Assistance offered by the health authorities continued to be firmly refused by most residents, who felt that the sickness was caused by some divine act and should be allowed to run its course. What a thing. That was 1957. Let's give you another piece of Champs. 1958 marked the 48th staging of Boys Champs at Sabina Park. The championship title was won by Calabar High School, thanks to a young athlete called Dennis Johnson. And let's see. The JBC rejected a political PNP President Norman Manley, on the grounds it contained two references which were considered to be defamatory and another which borders on sedition. The same broadcast had already been aired by RJR. That was 1966. 1972, Kingston College wins the Inter-Secondary Schoolboys Track and Field Championships for the 11th consecutive year, with Camperdown placing second. Of the 12 records broken during the 3 days of the meet, KC was responsible for 10. Trevor T.C. Campbell, the Class 1 champion athlete of KC, won the 100, 200, 400, and 800 meter races. And let's go now to, let's take you to 1974, Amnesty, the first illegal gun, a .20 automatic pistol, was turned in under the amnesty declared by the government to Father John Meany, pastor of the Holy Cross Church. It was handed in by a man. That was 1974. Let's go to 1978. Gordon St. C. Scotter, a former sports editor of the Daily Gleaner, died in the Hargreaves Hospital, Mandeville. He was 88. An Englishman who was educated at Manchester University and came to Jamaica as an inspector of police in 1914. He introduced the fingerprint permit system in 1919 and resigned from the force in 1926. He was captain of the force's cricket, rifle, and boxing teams. He was also a former captain of the Kingston Football Club and played tournament tennis and senior cup cricket for Kingston Club. And let's see if we can give you one more. All right, I think we're going to leave that there for now and go back to some of your messages. This one says, good afternoon. Did any of the former champ stars receive any accolades? Any alive today? Yeah, they honor them from time to time. What happens? In the build-up to champs, when the track and field season starts, and it usually starts as early as, is it, I think the JC meet, the JC water race meet. I think they usually have the first track and field event of the season, which I'm trying to nail it down now to the particular period. But they usually have theirs first. So what happens at these meets, and we have covered a few, well, more than a few here on Power 106, is that they usually identify a former student athlete who achieved some amount of excellence or endurance, etc., etc. And they're usually recognized. So that's what is usually done. One moment, please. Yes, I'm sure we can look around and we'll find some of our athletes who are still very much with us. those who used to run in high school and even before high school. But just keep listening for the rest of this week, because this is Champs Week and Champs starts tomorrow. So we'll be interweaving a lot of information related to champs and athletes and so on and so forth. We'll do our best to share with you as much information as possible as we celebrate our athletes past and present. Michael from Belle Plaine in Clarendon is holding a Bible. Is that a Bible? He's swearing. What's happening here? Let's see. Good afternoon, he says, teacher, to you and your listeners. I want to congratulate my friend Alfredo Williams, who on becoming the first JP in Old Longville District, otherwise called Cooley Town, next to Bird Hill. Keep safe, teacher. God bless you. Bless you too, and we join you in congratulating your friend Alfredo Williams on becoming the first JP in Old Longville District. And Old Longville District is otherwise known as Cooley Town, next to Bird Hill. Thank you very much for that bit of information, Michael. All the best. Yagaro says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. You know, when I was a youngster, I was at my aunt's home visiting when I heard a family member of mine bawl out, and my aunt rushed in to find out what happened. So she asked the question, what happened to you? What happened to you? Gasket? What happened to your gasket? Two of my family members were in the house, and she asked what happened. She said, little bits me. When asks little why you bits her, she turns and says, this a pass, me a pass, a me teeth catcher. Okay. I'm sorry. Help, Yagaro. I don't get it. Help. I'm not sure what that is about. Yagaro, we need your help with that one. All right. Thank you very much for your message. As we continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, and still taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. All right, we're just bringing up some information here, listeners. And let's see if we'll have time to give you just a little more in just a moment. So, to give you an idea of how things will start off tomorrow, let's see. Let's do this. Let's bring up this information here. In fact, let's bring this up. Here we go. So this is the schedule, the Champs schedule, for those who want to be kept abreast of Champs so they can do what they need to do and position themselves accordingly. Just before we do, we see Lisa Brown Campbell saying, we have a Cooley Town in Runaway Bay too, very close to where I grew up. Hello to everyone there who might be listening. Hello to the people of Cooley Town. Hope all is well with you. Right, so it's day one of Champs tomorrow, Tuesday, the 28th of March, 2023, starting at 9 o'clock in the morning. Preliminary events get going at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. The girls, 13, one of these days, I hope and pray for the day when I'll be able to just go to champs for every single day, champs, from morning till night, with not a care in the world. I must try that one of these days. Haven't been able to try this in what, about 30 years? One of these days, all things being well. Let's see. So session 1 is day 1 tomorrow, Tuesday, the 28th of March. We'll see the girls 13 to 14, 1500 event, class 3. That's the girls 13 to 14, 1500 meter run, class 3. Also the boys 10 to 13, 1500 meter run, class 3. The boys 16 to 19 long jump, class 1. The girls 13 to 19 javelin throw open. The boys 14 to 15 100 meter run, class 2. The boys 16 to 19 1500 meter run, class 1. The girls 13 to 14 400 meter dash, class 3. The girls 15 to 16 shot put, class 2. The boys 10 to 13 400 meter dash, class 3. The girls 15 to 16 long jump, class 2. The girls 15 to 16 400 dash, class 2. The boys 14 to 15 400 dash, class 2. The boys 16 to 19 400 dash, class 1. The boys 14 to 15 long jump, class 2. The girls 17 to 18 discus throw, class 1. The girls 100, class 4, 100 class 3. The boys 100, class 3. Girls 100, class 2. Boys 100, class 2. Girls 100, class 1. Boys 100, class 1. The girls 400 hurdles open. The boys 400 hurdles, class 2. The boys 400 hurdles, class 1. And the boys 2000 meter steeplechase. And in fact, that's the last event for day 1. And that's at 8:30 p.m. So day 1 of Champs 2023 will start at 9 in the morning and go until 8:30 in the evening. You could almost say 12 hours. Yeah, 12 hours. So that's Tuesday. Wednesday, the schedule is closer to 9 o'clock in terms of the finish. So that's 9 a.m. to 8:55 p.m. Final event on Wednesday, the 29th, 8:55 p.m. And Thursday, day 3, same hectic schedule. In fact, day 3 will go up to 9:30. The last event is scheduled for 9:30 p.m. on Thursday. On Friday, they start at 9 and they go all the way to 9:40 p.m. That's the last event, 9:40 p.m. on Friday. And then Saturday, they don't start at 9, they start at 1 p.m. Start time for Champs on Saturday is 1 p.m. And the event will run until the final event, until the final race, 8:52 p.m. It's an exciting period. It usually is. And we hope for a very safe, Champs 2023. That's really what we hope for. Albert in Coconut Creek, Florida, or is he still in Jamaica? In Coconut Creek, Florida, back, yes. He says, Sir Dervan, Calabar, the good Dr. Bassi you interviewed on Saturday morning is from Calabar, Nigeria. When I was going through her latest magazine, I saw a reference to Calabar, the village she came when I told her about the connection. You should have seen her response. I told her about your connection with Calabar, and she wants to link with you. Sure, why not? We'll be happy to oblige. We did hear reference to Calabar in one of the interviews. I don't remember which one. And I put in a mental marker to say I was going to ask her about Calabar. But other subjects came up in the interview. Can we thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, for today, Monday, the 27th of March, 2023. The moving finger writes, and having writ moves on, nor all your pity nor wit shall lure it back to cancel half a line, nor all your tears wash out a word of it. All things being well, Both Sides of the Story returns tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 5. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm reminding all of us that every day is an opportunity to do better than yesterday. Take care.
We gonna walk down Freedom Street. Everybody know we gonna walk down Freedom Street. Freedom Street. Can't see clearly, 'cause I work hard all night. It must be a midnight, 'cause there's no change in sight. I see a big street where all men live. It must be Freedom Street. Oh Lord, Freedom Street. Everybody knows we gonna walk down Freedom Street. Everybody knows we gonna go find her down Freedom. And we gonna walk down so. Oh, we gonna walk down Freedom Street. Let's together, Lord. We gonna sing, we gonna shout. We gonna walk.
Bye.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
5 o'clock.
News, comprehensive, powerful, and credible.
Power 106 FM now presents a simulcast of Radio Jamaica's news at 5.